Alright, so I thought I'd do a quick video on how to upgrade the front brakes on a VL Commodore to a twin caliper VT unit. So factory these things have, this is just a original 2 litre auto New Zealand new VL Bellina, and it's no longer very factory. There'll be more videos to come on this build, but this is the last piece before certification, is the going from single caliper very small brakes to twin caliper VT brakes. So here's the calipers that I bought from local wreckers, and all I've done is I have pulled them apart, checked them for movement, checked all the seals, and given them a quick coat of black caliper paint. So they cost me 40 bucks a side, and just got some police spec VT brake pads ready to go on, and got these brake lines which allow me to go from the factory VL to the VT brake caliper. And these are the bits I've been waiting for. These are the hub adapters to go to a floating hub. So factory, the VL has a complete rotor hub assembly that is one piece, and these are a lot bigger and they're floating. So I bought a bearing kit as well, but actually I don't need bearings. They're brand new. When I did the front brakes originally, I did the slotted front rotors, factory spec slotted front rotors and high performance pads, and they were still just terrible. I couldn't get my brake times below 5 seconds reliably, so we need to get it below 4.4 for 5 cycles, under 3 minutes. So it just made sense to go to this. I have upgraded the front, the brake booster to a VS plastic booster, and gone to a VT master cylinder, because I have converted the rear to disc and factory Shearer's drum. So this was just from the same wreckers, and then just bought these adapters to suit my factory lines, and that's going to do the business. So we'll start. We've already pulled the original brake assembly off. So taken the calipers off, taken the rotors off, and also clamped up the brake line so we don't get brake fluid everywhere. And so now all I'm going to do is slide these new hub adapters on and put these new brakes on, and we'll bleed it up. I've had a friend of mine lend me this vacuum bleed kit, which saves having 2 people there, and we'll see if we can get this thing rolling today. And stopping would be good. Ooh, how good do they look? Man, they look good. So I've just put these hubs on and put the retaining nut on, this hub nut, and I've kept the caps from the old setup. And would you look at that? Oh, might have if we get that on square. Look at that, they fit beautifully. Awesome. So now we're just going to slide the discs over. Actually, I might do these lines first. Might be a bit easier without the discs in the way. Might tap that with the hammer just to get that seated right in. But these are really looking the part. So I've decided to actually do these calipers and rotors first, just so I can prevent any leaking when I take the brake lines off. I can just bang these straight back on and have them plumbed into the caliper already, so it doesn't just keep leaking through. I've got enough brake fluid all through the garage, and I don't really want to be wasting the stuff. I've only got a wee bit left, so I want to make sure I can get this completed and topped up. So I'm going to put these rotors on now and make these calipers up, and then we'll connect and swap out the lines, and we'll be ready to bleed it up. So all I've done is pulled out the old line, off these calipers because they were just cut at the wreckers. And I've just replaced the washers, and I just used my wee 1/4 inch to nip these up nice and tight, and we'll bang them on. Alright, we've got the hubs on, we've got the rotors on, we've got the calipers on. That was a lot easier to do than I thought. So now we are just going to hook up this new brake line, and that, so this piece here will clip into this piece here, and then we've got heat shrink stuff to heat up, and so it keeps its structural integrity on that sort of bend point. And then this piece here goes into there, and then our factory line, this steel line here, will just go into that, and then we'll bleed her up. Now we're talking. We are all plumbed up, new lining. I've just got to heat shrink these 2 wee sleeves up, and then we're just going to bleed her up and take her for a spin. Man, that looks good. Alright, so the brake lines are all fitted. We've done our heat shrinking tube, and the brakes are all bled. So now we'll put our wheels on and go for a spin. Holy shit, it actually stops. Like, actually stops. I feel safe all of a sudden. She's stopping within 3 seconds and cycling very well, doing, like, there's no loss of improvement, loss of performance between each cycle. Like, I've done 5 stops from 100 to 0, and this thing gets to 100 pretty quick. Like, that was within 2 minutes or 90 seconds, and no difference in stop time, still bang on 3 seconds. So absolutely wrapped. Definitely recommend doing this VT brake conversion, and they look cool. Those other piddly little ones